All right, here we are, scene one. Again, it might be helpful to follow along on a copy of the screenplay, but if you're just listening, I'll do my best to switch characters so that you know what's going on, okay? So scene one, interior of a saloon bar in San Francisco, 1869. It is early afternoon. Chairs and tables fill the room, half of which are occupied by men playing cards and drinking. There is a piano in the corner that no one is playing. The bright California sun filters through the blinds, which are broken and make a rattling noise when the wind blows. Cigar smoke lingers in the air. The occupants of the saloon are a collection of rough-looking men, mostly out of work. Some are ex-miners who came out west during the California gold rush 10 years earlier and then gravitated to the city, having failed to get rich. Others are veterans of the Civil War who have wound up here as guns for hire. A few women keep them company. In the corner, there is a billiards table to accommodate the new craze for pool, using 15 colored billiard balls. Bill and his younger brother Ethan are playing. Bill is a cowboy who came to the city on the run from killing a man in Ohio. He is a largely silent man with a toothless smile on account of having his teeth knocked out by a horse. He has persuaded his younger brother to travel out here with him, using the new railroad to make their journey. Ethan, over the pool table, about to play a shot. Blue ball, corner pocket. Bill, leaning against the wall with cue in hand. Yeah? Ethan smashes the ball into the corner pocket. Yes, sirree, I like these new balls, I most definitely do. Bill, yeah? Ethan, yeah, adopts a fake posh accent. Made for men of leisure, don't you know? That's us, right, Bill? Men of leisure, ha! Ethan goes on to pot a further 2 balls, keeping a running commentary in his fake posh accent and grinning at Bill in between each successful shot. Bill takes no notice, distracted by an argument at one of the card tables. A red-faced man, a newcomer, has finally worked out he is being systematically cheated at cards and rises to his feet quickly but unsteadily as his chair tips over behind him and smacks violently on the floor. The rest of the table laugh. The red-faced man is so drunk that the thoughts going through his head are clearly visible on his face. He considers tipping up the card table and walking out, but then his hand finds his gun and he starts to wag it at the other players. The laughter stops, and after a few seconds, everything in the saloon stops, except Ethan, who has his back to the room and has been lining up another seemingly impossible shot. Ethan, in his fake posh voice. Blue ball, end pocket. In the silence, he plays the shot. But something strange happens when the white ball hits the 8 ball. There's a bright flash accompanied by a loud, percussive crack. The 8 ball misses the pocket, knocked off course by the mini explosion. The red-faced man, whose befuddled attention had started to turn towards Ethan, is so startled by the noise that he instinctively reacts by letting off 1 shot in the direction of the pool table before running out of the saloon. Ethan lies bleeding on the floor, and the white ball finally comes to a halt, still smoldering from its explosive collision with the 8 ball. That's the end of the scene. So here's some notes for scene 1. The game of pool evolved from billiards, a 15th century North European game that started in royal places and was essentially an indoor version of croquet. This is why the table's surface was colored green, to simulate grass. One of the results of the Industrial Revolution was to make billiard tables much cheaper to produce. As in our day, it was found that the game could increase the income of bars and public taverns, and it started being adopted by the new urban poor. During the 19th century, the game got more technically sophisticated. First, the cue sticks became tipped with leather and covered in chalk to allow greater control of the ball by using spin. This technique was introduced to America by English sailors and is still referred to as putting English on the ball. In the 1840s, the invention of vulcanized rubber by Charles Goodyear allowed for the introduction of cushions as the sides of the playing surface, which were soft and springy instead of wooden, ensuring that the balls would bounce off them in a predictable manner for the first time. From this point onwards, billiards tables resembled those we know today. The move from a billiard game, which uses 3 or 4 balls, to the more fashionable game of pool, which uses 15 balls, happened in 1870s America. Up until this point, though, the balls themselves were made of ivory, and so were expensive. Ivory has a unique combination of material properties. It is hard enough to endure thousands of high-speed collisions between the balls without denting or chipping. It is tough enough to not crack. It can be machined into the spherical shape of a ball. And like many organic materials, it can be dyed into different colors. No other material at the time had this combination of properties. So when the popularity of pool exploded into a craze across American saloons, there was a real chance that the price of ivory would rise so much in response to demand that the game would rapidly become unaffordable. Hence the trial in many saloons across the continent of balls made of new replacement materials such as plastic, some of which behaved very strongly. Plastic was a new kind of material and is different from other materials as screenplays are to prose.